Good morning, everybody. My name is Jared O'Leary. I've been drumming since 1998, and I still got plenty of stuff to work on. Now, in these practice streams, there are hundreds of them. I am basically treating this like office hours. So I'm here to practice, to try and improve. And if you got questions about how to get better as a performer or how to get better as an educator, then I answer them. Otherwise, I just sit here and practice these. In all these hundreds of live streams, you can find timestamps in the description to show what I was practicing or what I was talking about. Now, because I've been drumming for almost 30 years and I've taught every grade kindergarten through doctoral student, I'll get questions about how to get better at performing and how to get better at teaching, and I will edit those responses and put them into this playlist. It's currently got over 17 hours of drumming tips on a wide range of different questions. So, for example, this question is about how to improve the second note of a diddle, and other drumming tips means there's more topics inside of there. And then there's some other ones that are like further down, like tips for teaching young drummers, and other teaching tips means there's more than just the first thing that I talk about in the title. So if you're interested, check out that section under the tips and lessons on my home tab of YouTube. Now, I'm not good at limb independence yet. Most of my drumming has been rudimental, and then concert percussion, and then like less than 1% of my time has been on limb independence. So I'm going to have Shia LaBeouf here help motivate me, make me better at limb independence, encourage me. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success, well, you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Oh, yeah, Shia LaBeouf. Everybody is super motivated now. Ooh, one more flex for good luck. Now, the way I'm practicing limb independence today is going through this book. It's called 50 Ways of Syncopation by Dom Moyle. It's got 50 ways that you can work on limb independence by going through Dom's charts, the solos at the end of Ted Reed's book Syncopation, or the 55 charts that are on my website. Now, the way that I'm largely learning interdependence, as Gary Chester would call it, is kind of outlined in New Breed 1 and 2, as well as some other things that I learn with independence for like playing marimba and some other percussion instruments. Now, I've taken Dom's book and I have put it inside of this spreadsheet. This spreadsheet is keeping track of like how am I doing across of all of Dom's patterns or the patterns that I've come up with. So, for example, pattern number 2 in Dom's book is your standard ding, 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 and then you play short notes, so eighth notes on snare drum. And then anything longer than that is on your bass drum. So if you look at the spreadsheet, this is keeping track of the BPM, the quality of the playing, and how I felt while playing it across all these different times. And then column A is keeping track of, well, how was it on average across all the times that you've practiced this? So for these live streams, what I've been doing is going to the ones that are not good at yet, and then just keep focusing on them until they get to the point where they are playing the ink on the page, technically proficient, or are musical. Which means that I'm adding in extra timbres and textures to make it sound more interesting. Now, if you scroll down, we've gone through all of these except for this variation that I've come up with. Why, hello on the vertical, which is this pattern. So pattern 53 that I came up with. And it is a doozy. So we're going to warm up with this one. I got to explain what's going on here so you can see exactly what I'm doing with this. So the pattern is right here, and if you're on the horizontal, the pattern is right there. But what I'm doing is playing a Soca hi-hat feel, so like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, so that pattern, da-da-da, 1 EN, 2 EN, 3 EN, 4 EN. I'm playing that, but instead of playing it as 16th notes, I'm going to play it as triplets. So I'm going to go triplet, 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 So I'm doing 3 of those hi-hat patterns in the space of 4 quarter notes, which makes it a 3/4 feel. Now, while I'm doing this, this is a straight hi-hat pattern, but I'm going to be reading through charts as swung, where eighth notes are on the snare drum, and anything longer than that is on the bass drum. So I'm going to go So I'm playing quarter notes on the bass, and then it was eighth notes on there. That's the plan. This is not a cover stream. This is me practicing and people asking questions about how to get better. Now, I'm going to show you how to get to the resources. You can either go to the home tab of YouTube, or you can go to the link that is up here. So jaredoleary.com/drum. There's over 2,000 free drumming resources. So for example, if you're a rudimental drummer like myself, there's a bunch of chop exercises. There's currently 84 chop exercises. My favorite playlist is the shopping spree one. There's also over 1,000 grid variations, 419 for triplet, 577 for 16th note, and then 36 wacky ones like herp to grid or accent only grid, etc. But a variety of rudiments in here. I'll get back to the limit independence in a second. There's over 500 marching bass drum exercises. Focus on the timing ones with marking time, and then you can do the splits timing stuff. There's a bunch of drumline cadences and score format. There's also over 200 sight reading exercises, and these are currently members first, which just means it's early access, so they're going to come out, I believe, a year from now. There's over 600 videos that are members first. They're all scheduled to release for free. There's also almost 500 technique exercises. Just click on a playlist that looks interesting. So if you want to work on stick control, go there. If you want to work on your flams, go to the flams playlist, etc. And then finally, there's over 17 hours of me responding to Q&A on the different live streams. Thank you for the sub. As well as some scripted lessons like how to hold traditional grip or how to practice quietly. I love you lots. So yeah, all of these sections are found on my home tab of YouTube. So for example, if I go to here, you just have to click to actually expand it on YouTube. So, for example, the grid section, when you click on this, then it shows you all of the different grid playlists. So it's organized neater on my website, but it's the same content. But the section that I'm playing through is the limb independence section, and I'm playing this at 115. So this is a 3/4 straight over swung pattern. So the patterns that I'm going to read are going to be swung drum charts, and we're going to be going through this. Is drums the easiest instruments? No, not at all. Not at all. Easy to pick up and hit the drums, but very difficult to master. Cool. So there's 55 charts in here. So you can practice sight reading while going through these charts. I'm going to go to, 21 through 25. Sounds great. In the timestamps of all these thousands of free play-alongs, you can jump to whatever BPM you want. Some go as slow as 20 beats a minute, and some go as fast as 240 beats a minute. So there's quite the range of BPMs, one click at a time. So you can practice at whatever speed you want to do this at. So if you're attempting to do this really hard limb independence pattern, you can go faster than me or slower than me. 1, 2, here we go. So the play-along has a click track so you can play along to it. It's muted on your end, but it's going through my headphones right now. So if you use these, you'll hear what I'm talking about. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and... So again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 with 1, 2, 3 going on the hi-hat. So that's the 3/4. The hi-hat is straight, the drums are swung. 2, 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You gotta think of both while playing this one. It's a lot. 2, ready, and... Two more charts. Then we'll stretch and massage, and then I'll play another limb independence pattern. I can speak sometimes. 2, 1, 2, here we go. Alright, cool. The last chart. Chart 25. So far, this has felt very comfortable. I may have just jinxed myself. We'll find out. 1, 2, here we go. Is that a sign that you ought to start drums? Yes, it is actually. And you can find thousands of free resources to help you with it. Just go to the home tab. So what I'd highly recommend if you're like new to drums is check out the drumming lessons. There's more basic stuff in there, like how to hold, grip, things like that. And then some more kind of a range from basic to very advanced topics, like literally like how to hold a stick to like, is it worth it to get a doctorate in music education? Is inside of this playlist where there's over 17 hours of me responding to different questions and whatnot. That's crazy. Yeah, I would not recommend starting with that pattern. It's a 3/4 straight over swung, so don't do that. That is fun though. It's taken me 2 months to be able to actually read through the charts of consistent effort, but I still haven't graduated from it. So column A on average, it still needs a lot of work. We're getting close though. I've almost graduated from that pattern. I'm going to stretch and massage, and then I'm going to review this one, which was kind of feeling a little funky yesterday when I was playing through it. So we're gonna review that again. But first, we're gonna stretch and massage. I'm doing that. Straight over swung? Yeah. So here, I'll show you. Okay, so the pattern is a Soca feel. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, as 16th notes, 1 EN, 2 EN, 3 EN. I'm doing as triplets. Triplet, triplet, triplet. Buckets, 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 buckets. So I'm doing 3 of those in the space of 4 quarter notes, and it's a straight pattern. But I'm reading all the drum parts as swung. So 8th notes on the drums. Quarter notes. Okay, so that's a 3/4 straight over swung. It's advanced. I wouldn't recommend starting with that one. It's fun though. It's a good challenge. I like it. Anyways, let's stretch and massage. Sticks. Palms facing up. Pull in, push through. Ooh wee. You play guitar, but drums seem easier. Guitar is one of the few instruments I haven't learned. I could ask my wife, but she's not in this room, so I don't know. But yeah, I learned every band and orchestra instrument in my undergrad. To become a band director, had to learn all those instruments. Next stretch that I'm gonna do is stretching the underside of the forearm, so I'm just kind of pulling back a little bit. But yeah, I haven't learned guitar. But drums is not easy. It's one of the things where it's like, yeah, you can start learning it, and it seems like it's simple. And then you realize just how complicated to get. It's a low floor and a high ceiling is the way that, like, we would describe that when I was teaching computer science. So it's like an easier barrier of entry to get into, but the ceiling is ridiculous, like just how far you can get into it. So it sounds like the guitar is similar, but again, it's one of the few instruments I haven't learned. And there's no reason why I haven't learned it. Like, my wife has a couple of guitars. She has a bass guitar. She has a ukulele. I just haven't learned it. I'm not really a melodic kind of person. Like, rhythm is far more interesting to me than melody and harmony and whatnot. So, to each their own, though. Like, we own a marimba, and like I played it for my undergrad, but it's not set up because I'm not interested in it. This stretch, by the way, I was doing was stretching the top side of the forearm. So this stretches the underside, this stretches the top side, but you can do it on your legs to make it go twice as fast. Next, thumb to thumb. Again, going twice as fast. Whee! It's a good stretch. I'm aware of, I've done some like Indian hand drumming. We played a piece in contemporary percussion ensemble one of the years that I was in it during my undergrad, where we like learned like ta den take na ta den and it was like, it was really cool, but like it's not something that I would say that I formally studied outside of that semester. Thank you for the sub. But it's cool. Like, Ustad Zakir Hussain, I got a couple of his CDs during my undergrad because I was like, this hand drumming stuff is cool. And I was like, wow. Some of the stuff that they do, like the ragas and whatnot, it's really neat. I like it. Good morning, Tyler. How you doing? We're almost afternoon for you, right? I think. Getting close. Next, I'm going to massage real quick. So I'm doing thumb on top, fingers underneath. Once I finish this little massage routine for the forearm, the hands, and then the fingers, then I'm going to play that Samba pattern. Hand drumming is in a tabla. I did not learn tabla, but hand drumming is in like a frame drum. But yeah, we had some people playing tabla. We had some people playing like other different instruments. ASU had like a lot of African drums, but we also had some Indian drums and whatnot. But like I've got on the wall actually over there some frame drums. So if you're not familiar with what a frame drum is, I can actually show you. So if there's this video is like scheduled to release. It's talking about flams, but in that thumbnail it actually shows it. So here, it doesn't have the flams on it. I added those from Sibelius, but these are frame drums. So like this one is like this big. And so you like hold on to it and like ta den ta na ta den. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with hand drumming. Stay tuned for that. I think that comes out January or something. I don't know. There's like 600 members' first videos. They're all scheduled to release eventually. You got to play a frame drum for a symphonic band piece? Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I ever have played a wind ensemble piece that had frame drum in it. We had some like interesting stuff, like a water gong, or like bowing different instruments. So you would like bow like a vibraphone or bow like a cymbal or things like that. So you take like a double bass bow or like a cello bow, and then you would like hold on to it and then pull up on it and make that like ethereal like screeching sound that you hear in like a lot of horror movies. So like done some cool stuff like that. I've even seen somebody played, I think it was called like Morning Dove Sonata or something on vibraphone, where it was essentially like 4 mallets. But the way that they did it is they had 2 mallets and then 2 bows like on the outside. So they would like bow stuff and then like do a lot of like press strokes and like muting and whatnot with their other like rubber mallet on the vibraphone. It's really cool. So the idea was to make it sound like a Morning Dove. I think that was the name of it, Morning Dove Sonata. I don't know. We're talking like 20 years ago, so, you know, memory a little bit off. You play the frame drum with a mallet? Interesting. Oh, okay, so traditional Irish. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so there's different kinds of like frame drums that are used for like different musical purposes and places and whatnot. The doctoral student that I supervised for their dissertation, he happened to also be a percussionist, and he had studied with like people from Iraq and Pakistan and whatnot, and like he had like a bunch of different frame drums that he had actually made. So he was like teaching me all sorts of stuff that I was like, I have no idea what that is. It was cool, but I like it. Why are there holes in my cymbals? Oh, good question. So I'm playing on a low volume drum kit. So it's a normal drum kit, like an acoustic kit, but the cymbals are the Zildjian low volume cymbals, so they make them significantly quieter. And then these are the silent stroke heads by Remo. And I'm using a drum trigger, which is why, like, if you change it, it'll be like whatever I want with the setup. But the point of this is to make it significantly quieter. So you could be like in an apartment and not annoy people. Like my wife will be in the other room, like on the phone or in like a Zoom meeting or something, and like people won't even know that I'm drumming on here because it's significantly quieter. I love it. But that's why I've got these. And then if you want, like if you go to, in any of these like thousands of play alongs, there's a link in them. Like let me just go to one. Sure, we'll go to technique and we'll take a look at, I don't know, accent tap exercise. For any one of these, if you just like click on it, the first link will be like to show you to get to my website, which has everything organized neater. But the second link will go to /gear. And then that shows you like some books that I recommend, like the book that I'm working out of. Thanks for visiting. You're welcome, Jared. 50 Ways to Syncopation. This is the one that I'm about to play through. And then if you scroll down a little bit further, it'll show like the different hardware that I'm using. So these are the low volume cymbals, the silent stroke heads, and then like the double bass pedal and whatnot that I'm using, as well as like the sticks. If those interest anybody, you can find that at /gear instead of at /drum. Okay, so the pattern that I'm playing it at, how fast? 150, and it was kind of meh last time. Okay, so the pattern is your basic samba. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry, read through the comment. You want to let me know that you saw a massive triplet grade improvement within a week? Proof is in the pudding. Feel free to let people know. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that. It's something that I started doing early 2000s, maybe 2004, where I'd create these like play-alongs, and I'd use like Amazing Slow Downer to like slow down to like 80%, 70% for like the different exercises or the book and whatnot. And I wish more people knew about it. So I'm glad to hear that you're noticing those gains. But yeah, the more people use those play-alongs, like, it really does help you practice listening in. It helps you figure out the rhythms, the interpretation. Like, there's, I've got like a video that talks about why, like, I think metronomes are overrated. Nice to meet you again as well. Thanks for coming back. But if you go into the drumming lessons, like, I'm not this one. Metronomes are overrated for drummers. I talk about like why metronomes like help you to figure out the start and end posts of things. So like you can hear if these are in time, but you can't hear all those interior notes, whether or not they're in time. But I hope more people see the value of this kind of stuff, because it just makes it so much better. Like, so the consistency is night and day when you actually start using the play-alongs. There's a reason why I'm like just constantly practicing with them on my streams. It makes me a better performer. But anyway, speaking of being a better performer, so the thing that I'm going to play through is a samba pattern. So the foot pattern for a samba is boom, chick, boom, boom, chick, boom, boom. Okay, so normally when playing a samba pattern, for a lot of the ones in Dom's book, you'll actually play a 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and which is great. But this one variation that I'm going to do, variation number 33, is actually going to be So what you're doing is you're filling in the hi-hat where the gap is. Okay? While doing that. You watched some of my videos yesterday and practiced with them. They're very helpful. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad to hear that. Stay tuned for many more. Okay, so we're going to play through that pattern while reading through charts on the snare drum. So the way that I'm going to do this, I'm going back to the home tab, and I'm going to the limb independent section. And I'm playing this at 150. Yes, 150. Sometimes my memory's like a goldfish. And I'm doing the straight charts instead of the swung ones at the bottom. So, boop. We just did 21 through 25. I guess I'll just keep going in order. Why not? It'll be fun. Or not. Stay tuned. We'll find out. Today's episode of Hit Drum. Answer questions. Okay. Move. There you go. Here we go. Samba foot pattern. A 1, 2, ready, und. Adding in the ostinato on the ride. Let's see if my brain can remember this. 1, 2, here we go. Oh, that was bad. Woo! This is why we're working on this. Yeah, my ride switched over to the pattern that I demonstrated earlier, and then I read rhythms wrong. So sorry. Also bad. No! Keep playing. The other ride. Ostinato. Stop it. Get some help. 1, 2, here, go. little bit better. It's still just kind of meh. My brain is on overtime thinking about this. A 1, a 2, here we go. So my brain started playing a 1 EN, 2 EN, 3 EN, or 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3. I don't know why. 1. Here we go. Like I knew Susie, then you would like her too, like her too, like her too. If you knew Susie, like I knew Susie, then you would like her too, like her too, like her too. Ugh, that was disappointing. I'm gonna have to come back to that one. So again, it was meh. Wah, wah. Shame. We'll keep practicing it. It's pushing my limits. It just kind of like was meh. That's your favorite chart? It's a fun little Easter egg. If you know, you know. Okay, so I'm skipping these green ones because the green ones I passed previously in the review process, but that yellow one that I just played number 33, it's still not good enough. We're gonna come back to that maybe at the end of the stream. Okay, so 40. What is 40? 40 is what? Swung cymbal. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so quarter note triplets. Short, long. So the short is on the hi-hat. And then long is on the foot. Okay. Sting for 7 days? No, I don't like getting stung. That sounds like it would hurt. A 7-day sting? Sounds terrible. Okay, so let's do it on 115. Yay! Alright, so I'm gonna go to the swung charts. We're going to the home tab. We're gonna scroll down to the limb independent section inside of here. And now I'm doing swung at 115. So we're gonna go inside of here. We just did 26 through 30. Do I have the spreadsheet available for download? Oh, so scroll all the way down. Tips and lessons inside of the drumming tips playlist. If you scroll down, there's hundreds of videos in here. Drumming tip number 74. How journaling can help drummers. It has the template for you, and then you can fill it in with whatever you want. So inside of the description, it's got the link to it right here. And if you scroll down a little bit more, it's got in the comments section a link right there. So that gives you like a blank version of the template that has like all of this information, like the starting BPM, the quality, how you felt while doing it, etc. And then column A will keep track of it. And then column B, you can fill in with it whatever you want. But if you want the patterns that I'm going through, there are 50 Ways to Syncopation by Don Moyle. This is the book that I'm working through. Highly recommend the book. Hello? I'm a car. Oil is my blood. What on earth? My internet crashed. Yay, I'm back. Maybe. Thank you. You're doing an incredible amount of work. Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate the kind words. Don't worry, I'm making billions a day doing this. The actual answer is about $1 a day. Limb independence. Alright, so we're going here. And then I'm going to the swung charts. It looks like it may have crashed again. Good. We're streaming on hard mode today. It may or may not work apparently. Good job, internet. So proud of you. I pay how much a month to have it drop out like this? Too much. Too much. What was it? 115? Yes. Okay. The pattern I'm playing, is what again? Oh, yeah, the cardinal triplets. Oh, yeah, it's muted. Ready? And ding, ding, ding. So the cardinal triplets I'm going to keep nice and low. So you might not hear it all, like... I'm just going to keep it like ghost note height. Or tap height. 2, 1, 2, ready to... and... Barely made it. You ran out of simulation there for a few seconds. It reminds me of some of the previous comments I'd get on TikTok back when I'd stream on there. And some of the kids just like needed constant stimulation. Especially when I'd be doing the gaming streams. So I totally lost my stick. I'd like, sometimes like pull out my keys and jingle it. Do you need this? Oops, that's the wrong pattern. So again, this cardinal triplet just adds a little bit more like rhythmic complexity to it, but it's not the melody. It's the ostinato, so just keep it low. You might not even hear it coming through on the drum trigger. Staying 7 days? No, I told you I don't want to get stung. I don't even want to get stung for 1 day. That sounds horrible. That would hurt. Put up a satisfying videos compilation on the top left. You joke, but it's true. Some kids Oh boy. Like you'll be at like a pharmacy, like picking up something, and like kids are like off the wall bonkers until the parent like gives them a device. It's like, that's not normal. And I sometimes get parents be like, well, you don't understand what it's like to raise a child. You've never had one. It's like, yes, you're correct. But I have taught thousands of children, and I can tell you that that behavior does not fit into the other thousands of children's, like, norms. So I can tell you it's abnormal. I broke my concentration like midway through that last chart. I was thinking about something else. Otherwise, it's mostly technically proficient. Yay! We passed that review. I had fun with it. Let's mark it as green. Passed. It looks like you're asking me to play songs. This is not a cover stream. So this is like office hours. So I'm here to practice. And if people have questions about how to get better at drumming or teaching, then I respond to those questions. But I have not ever done any drum covers on here because of copyright issues. I don't do that. But I appreciate you asking. But the reason why, if you go to the home tab and you scroll past all the like play-alongs and you go into the tips and lessons section, the reason why there's 17 hours of like drumming Q&A inside of here is because of the questions from these streams. So because I've been drumming for almost 30 years and because I've taught every grade kindergarten through doctoral student, I'll answer questions about like how to get better as a performer or as an educator, but this is not a drum cover stream. Sorry. Any thoughts on why, according to your drum teacher, you play independence patterns too fast? You may be referring to the 7 days as a song. Oh yeah. So I was just joking about the Sting thing. I was just making a little haha. Yeah, so the limb independent stuff is a little different than the technique stuff. So like when I'm working on the technique exercises, like I'll slow these down to 40 for like any of these. Sometimes go even slower if I need to really refine the movement. But for limb independence, what you're trying to do is get your limbs to basically become the metronome while you play. So you'll start off with like something like basic. So like this is just one limb moving. And then you might eventually move into something more complicated, like doing, okay, now I got two limbs moving for the ostinato. Now we got three, and then you add in like the fourth one, etc. So you're trying to get those limbs that are doing the ostinato, the thing that repeats over and over, to basically be the metronome. And then you're going to read through other rhythms, permutations, charts, whatever, to have that independent part. So you have like the dependent and independent variables, basically, if we think of it as research terms. So if you're to slow it down too much, like go all the way down to 40, then you're not really getting that metronome going on. There's too much space in between, too much time for your brain to think about other things. And so you're consciously thinking about all four limbs at the same time, as opposed to basically getting that myelination point where you develop that automaticity. We use a fancy word for it, where you don't have to think much. So like when people talk about talent and like having that natural ability, so-called, when they see somebody, all that is automaticity. So the automaticity around 50-ish hours of playing something to develop a skill, one specific skill, not like 50 hours and all of a sudden you're like a god at drumming. No. You'll just start to feel natural like playing after like 50 hours of work. And then when you add it in with other limbs, you're developing that metronome. So once you get that automaticity going, then you can really focus on the independent part, the thing that is playing something different. In this case, it'd be like the left hand playing, or myself being able to talk without like sounding like a robot, or make it so that everything I'm doing is in time. What is that, dotted eighth? But if you slow it down too much, good luck. So when I practice the rudimental stuff, you'll see me slow it down really slow. But then when I get into this kind of stuff, I don't slow it down as much because it's just a different way to practice. It's a different thing that you're focusing on. It's a different way to try and train your brain. So if I'm trying to refine a technique, yeah, I'll go as slow as 40. But if I'm trying to get that automaticity down, going too slow will kind of like break that, I don't want to phrase it. It'll break the connections I'm trying to make with the skill. And the whole point of like turning your limbs into metronome that you play to. So what Gary Chester talks about in New Breed 1, he calls it limb interdependence, is because the limbs are interconnected and dependent on what the ostinato is doing. So I like his framing of it in New Breed 1 and 2 as being the dependence. Like, my left hand playing on the snare when doing this is dependent on what my other limbs are doing, and I'm just playing to it, as opposed to it being independent and it's just kind of like doing its own thing, floating off into the nether, etc., rhythmically speaking. So, yeah, as long as you're not, like, trying to play it, like, pushing your limits, like, when you're, like, first trying to learn it or something, like, you don't need to, like, you don't need to go that slow when, like, learning this stuff. It'll be counterproductive in the long run if you go too slow, in my opinion. At least with, like, the way that I have practiced and the way that I have taught this. But I have taught the limb independent stuff less than I've taught, like, other areas of percussion. So maybe I'm missing some information that your drum teacher is talking about that would go, oh, yeah, I totally agree with that. But from my experiences with doing limb independence and teaching it, if you go too slow, it actually hurts you. It slows you down too much. Your Samba metronome, feet and it falls apart. Give it time. Give it time. You'll get there. It's just like, if you follow the steps in that video of how to develop limb independence, it just takes lots of time. Like, if you go back to the drum streams from like 2 months ago when I was first learning that first pattern, the 3/4 straight over swung part, like, playing through that, I couldn't even play the ostinato. But now 2 months later, like, I'm comfortable with it. It's hard, though. Okay, so what is 40.1? I think I just reversed the feet. Yeah, okay, so dun, gung, ga, dun. So that's the ostinato. That's what your hands are playing. Just play the snare low. But this time I'm playing long notes on the hi-hat. And I'm playing the short notes, the eighth notes on the bass drum. We're going to go bass pro shop. Okay, so we're going to do that at 115. And I'm going to the limb independent section. Click. And then inside of here, we just did 20. No, we did 31 through 35. I can read numbers sometimes. Let's do 36 through 40. And we'll do it at 115. Much wow. Click. Here we go. ready, and ding, ding, ding. This is the first layer of the ostinato. That's the second layer. We're gonna lower that though. Eighth notes are on the bass drum. Anything longer than that is on the hi-hat. 1, 2, ready, and... So the pattern, it's so similar to the one that I just played that the hardest part for me with this is just like, don't play the one that you just did. As long as I don't do that, I'll be okay with this one. I say with hesitation. Usually when I'm like, oh yeah, this feels comfortable, I just like have myself. And because it's like, and it's just like an automatic thing where my brain just switches over, I don't even realize I'm doing it sometimes. I'll just be like a full line into playing it the other way, and I'm like, oh, wait, no, don't do that. Stop it. Get some help. Read that wrong. Two more charts. This feels comfortable. Yay. Just got this ostinato going. Just playing to it with the feet. See? My brain did it. That, like, second to last measure, my brain was like, no, the longs are supposed to be on the bass drum, right? Not for this version. Alright, chart 40. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. That felt super comfortable. Yay, we graduated from that one. Or at least reviewed it. I had fun with it. Let's mark it as passed. Doodly. What's this one? Oh my. Okay, 33. And then maybe I'll get ready for the gaming stream. Well, shall she? Okay, so this pattern. What are we playing? So 41. So, you can play this between your floor tom and your bass drum. My floor tom is my table. So we're not going to do that. So what I'm going to do is 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... Okay, so that's all you're doing. But you're adding in hi-hat on 2 and 4. While reading through the charts on the snare drum. Will I read through it correctly? Probably not. This one took me a while to get down, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Okay, so we're doing it at 95, eh? Okie dokie. So this is a straight chart. So I'm going to go back to the Home tab. Scroll to the limb independent section. But for any of these sections, just click on the header, and then it shows you all the playlists for it. For example, like the technique section has a lot of playlists inside of here. Keep you busy for quite some time. I think, how many... Let me look it up. I'm gonna see how many, like, hours are scheduled. So it goes all the way up to about there. So we're getting close to 5,000 hours worth of play-alongs that are scheduled to release. Like, some of them are currently listed as members first, which means that it's like early access, so it's scheduled to come out, like these sight reading ones. There's like almost 300 of them in here, but they say members first. But basically that's just like the join button here, and it's 99 cents. So like if you want that early access, you can get it, but it'll come out. But with all those play-alongs, there's almost 5,000 hours worth of content. So that'll take you a while to play through. But anyways, we're going through here. Straight, 95, and we just did 36 through 40, so let's do 41 through 45, while attempting to play through that pattern. Timestamps, click to 95, click, and then play along to it. Oh, it's muted. It's like, why don't I hear anything? 1, 2, ready? And I'm gonna put on the ride. Just give it a little variety. My right foot feels weird. 1, 2, 1, 2. Wish me luck. Yeah, the foot feels a little funny. Like it's like sticking. Like there's friction, I guess would be a better phrase for it. It's not sticky. It's not like viscous or anything. Maybe the callus from walking. I can't play in time while talking. callus from walking barefoot on our treadmill. This one would be really cool if I could play it faster. It's a hard one. The hi-hat on 2 and 4 is the weird part. For me, at least. 1, 2, ready, and... Hello! Sweet. I'm getting a weird vibe from you. Quoting Hannibal Lecter movie is a little weird. 1, 2, here we go. Hello to you too. And you, RDX. Welcome back. Sweet. Last chart. Again, you can play this on drum. I'm doing it on the cymbal. But getting that hi-hat on 2 and 4 is a little funky. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. That's a fun one. Interesting challenge. Cool. I could probably play that one faster next time, but I had fun with it. Yay! We reviewed it. Hurrah! Do 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 do. Mm 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 mm. Go ahead and delete that message, because I'm just getting weird vibes from you. Cool. Okay, so that pattern actually went better than I thought it would after having not played it in a while. So I'll take it. The next variation of it is actually going 1E and here today. It's yellow. It's not green. We did not pass go. We did not collect $200. Wait, what? Why is that? That's not the formula. There we go. Okay. I see how it is. Alright, so the pattern that I'm playing should be... So it's the Samba foot pattern. Boom, da-da-doom, da-da-doom. I played this after I did the stretch and massage routine, but it was just kind of meh, so I want to review it again. So the ostinato pattern, normally what I play is a 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 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 1. Like that. But for this one, it's actually going 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and So it's continuous eighth notes with the cymbals. While playing the Samba foot pattern. And then you read through the patterns on the snare drum. Etc. Okay? So that's what we're going to try and do while reviewing through this one. So we're doing it at 150, and it was just kind of meh the last couple times. 150. And we go back here. It looks like my internet is being wonky. Good old internet. Going out yet again. I see how it is. Fine. Be that way. Okay, so that was 41 through 45, so we'll just do the last 5 charts. So I'm going into the limb independent section. Click. And I'm scrolling down. So we're going into here. And then it's a straight pattern, so we're going into there. Scroll down all the way to 46 to 50. 46 to 50. In the timestamps of the description of all these thousands of play-alongs and drumming tips, you'll find BPMs or the specific tip that I was talking about. And we're going to do this at 150. Wish me luck. It was just okay earlier. Oh good, the internet went out again for a moment. Here we go. This is the foot pattern. more charts. This is feeling better than I did earlier. Yay! 2, 1, 2, here, go. One, two, here we go. I like totally missed the ride for a moment there. Almost lost a stick. Alright, last try. A 1, a 2, a here we go. It's weird, it's just like, sometimes wouldn't play the snare. Drum trigger, you can do better than that. Cool, well that felt way better than it did earlier. I'm still gonna go through it again, at the start of the next stream. Which, I was making progress, yay. Speaking of, so the next stream, as long as I meet all my, offline content creation goals for the day, then it will be tomorrow. And so I will start with pattern number 50. We'll use this as the warm-up. It's that weird 3/4 straight over swung pattern. And then I'll review some of the previous stuff that we graduated from and this one. So we'll do these patterns. So I've only got a few more to go through. And then I'll do a stream where I'll go through every single one of these in one stream. I'll play one chart, one pattern. Next chart, next pattern. Just kind of going through them all. So that'll be a fun challenge. See if I can play over 50 limb independence variations all in one sitting. But if you want to use any of these play-alongs or any of the thousands that I didn't demonstrate today, if you go to the Home tab here, you just got to click on the header for any one of these section areas, whether it's the chop stuff, the grid stuff, limb independence, the marching bass drum, the drumline cadences, the scores and ensembles, sight reading, or technique, or the tips and lessons. When you click on it, it shows you all the playlists that are inside of each one of these. And there are timestamps in the description for every one of these that goes up 1 BPM at a time. So if you want to start at 43 beats a minute, you could do that. And you can jump to like, I don't know, 192, whatever you want. But also, when people have asked some like really good questions on these practice streams, I will often edit them and put them into this drumming tips playlist. It's got over 17 hours of me responding to different questions that are a range of topics about how to get better as a performer or as an educator. So for example, how do you help students get out chop you? Will you succeed and keep your passion as a drummer? Or like number 100 is entirely dedicated to whether or not it's worth it to get a doctorate in music education. So a lot of different topics, and then like more basic stuff like what are roughs? So if you like any of these free resources, just share it with somebody else. It just helps more people find this content. And if you don't enjoy these free resources, then just share it with an enemy.